All right. How are you guys tonight?
Yeah!
All right, a little bit more, guys. Come on, how are you? I will need to stand. So as these guys said, I have been affected by a blood cancer. I'll tell you guys a little bit about that, but first and foremost, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you to Kathy, Judith, Nikki, and MeFun for putting on this incredible event. Can we just take a second to give a round of applause to these amazing women? Also, guys, just a little plug, there's some really amazing raffles going on tonight, so get those tickets, right? Make sure I win that baseball. Okay. So I've titled this speech, The Beginning of a New World. Since the day leukemia and lymphoma touched my life, I've been on a tireless mission to end cancer forever. To think it was only 3 years ago, I was doing chemotherapy after a Hodgkin's diagnosis. I felt like I've told this story so many times. From diagnosis, to treatment, to survival. I've told it more times than I can count. I've received so many different reactions to the speech and the whole thing. People have been shocked, happy, sad, captivated, numb, upset, or even apathetic, to name a few. People have given me hugs, cried on my shoulder, asked me to take photos with them, and talked to me like we've been best friends forever. A couple weeks ago, I ran into a guy at Whole Foods that saw me speak, and this was a weird one. He proceeded for the next 30 minutes to try to convince me that cancer was some sort of conspiracy and I'm just part of the sheep and whatever, man, sure. The whole experience has been surreal, to say the least. So when I began speaking publicly, I used to think that every single person I talked to could identify with me. However, as time goes on, I've realized that thought is naive at best. It's not because I pass any sort of judgment on any crowd I speak to. I have nothing but the utmost respect for every single person here. It is because we all are shaped by completely different life experiences. No two people in this room come from the exact same background. I take myself for an example. If this were a different era, I may not even know what a blood cancer was. When I was in high school, the last thing on my mind was cancer. In those 4 years alone, my mom passed, my grandmother passed, my father was in and out of jail. I had my own apartment, which I paid rent for. I had all kinds of odd jobs. And my focus was strictly on graduating high school and survival. In the next 4 years, I moved cities, developed a successful concert promotion company, owned multiple cars, had an amazing apartment, and a completely carefree lifestyle. Once again, I had no concept of blood cancer. My focus was completely on succeeding in the music industry. In the next 4 years after that, my father unfortunately passed away. I traveled the country managing a tour for a successful artist, started 2 new businesses that failed, sold a concert promotion company that I started years earlier, became somewhat nationally recognized in the music industry field, and I found the girl that I'm going to marry someday. She doesn't know yet. I guess you guys can see a trend here though. I still had absolutely no concept of blood cancer. It wasn't until I was 27 years old that it hit me. I got diagnosed with Hodgkin's in 2011 and everything changed. Blood cancer became and continues to be a part of my everyday life. But like most other setbacks, it felt like a moment in time. Since then, I've done hundreds of hours of work with this organization. My teams have raised $30,000 or $40,000 by now. I've completed 2 full marathons, 6 half marathons, and I've had the opportunity to speak in front of dozens of groups of people just like you guys. These accomplishments mean a lot to me. I've worked incredibly hard to get to this moment. But as I stand up here and speak to you guys, I can't help but to ask myself a very important question. Is this the speech I should be making to everyone? While my story is important to me, will people understand? If the blood cancer hasn't touched them directly, will they know how to react? As I told you earlier, I've come to grips with the fact that my story is not for everyone. So as I stand here today, I'm trying to evolve myself. I'm trying to evolve the way I talk to people, the things I talk about, and the reasons why I talk about them. The story I want to talk to you guys about today is about growing. I want to talk to you about taking chances, going against the grain, and doing things because they need to be done. Mainly, I want to challenge you to challenge yourselves. I think that's a story that everyone here can identify with, and honestly, that's a story that our generation needs to hear. We live in a world where the need for leaders is critical. People are starving, kids aren't getting the education they need, the world is constantly at war, and then there's people like myself, someone who had a relatively normal life, only to have their entire world flipped upside down. I could go on and on about this, but you guys know what it is. Whether we like it or not, it's our generation's destiny to try to make the world a better place for those who follow us. I've heard hundreds of times from people that they can never do what I do because they can never raise that type of money or run a marathon, blah, 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 blah. I can't, I won't, there's no way I could ever. All of these conversations of people just trying to justify their doubt. All I can say to them is stop. Stop kidding yourself. Nothing is impossible. You just have to believe in yourself. If you could hear my life story, you would see that there's absolutely no way. You're your own worst enemy, put it that way. Don't get me wrong, from time to time we all will fail. I've run races I didn't finish. I've had more than enough relationships that didn't work. I've started businesses that have failed. I've had jobs I've quit. I've even had days where things go so horribly wrong that I can't even picture tomorrow. But through every failure is growth. To quote the great Michael Jordan, I've missed over 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost over 300 games. 26 times I've been asked to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. I don't know what you guys have been through, so please understand I can only speak through my own experiences. But human beings change the world daily. Someone decided to create the wheel, now we drive cars everywhere. Someone decided to build the first airplane, now we can travel to any corner of the earth. Someone decided we need the internet, and now look, the whole world is connected. Someone decided they were going to research cancer. That person created the chemotherapy to save my life. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. So I'm about to get out of here, guys, but if you guys could take one thing from this speech, I hope it's the following. You're the driver of your own car. You're the CEO of your own corporation. You're the architect of your own identity. A few years ago, I never would have dreamed that I'd be raising money for cancer, or running marathons, or preaching to audiences about doing good. But we all have the power to change direction. In my 31 years on Earth, my only one true regret is that it took me so long to let go of my fear and get to where I am now. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Damon Bodine. Thank you guys so much for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the End Cancer Conference. Take care.